You walk into a modern living room, walls painted soft gray, plush couch slightly sunken in the middle, a dog curled up at your feet, a child's toy rolled halfway under the entertainment stand, and there, front and center, a glowing screen. Not the biggest, not the brightest, but it's trying. It's turned on before the coffee even brews. It's paused halfway through another episode, and it's quietly watching you back. This is the heartbeat of the home. For most families, the TV is more than a device. It's the doorway to late-night comfort, shared laughs, background noise while folding laundry, or tuning out the silence. But behind that screen, a machine, an illusion, a compromise. Because most of us, we weren't taught how to shop for this. We scroll, we search, top TVs 2025, and in return, pixel counts, refresh rates, acronyms, QLED, OLED, Mini LED, terms that blur together the way fog swallows a road. That's not an accident. It's hypnotic and designed that way. They don't want clarity. They want confusion. Because in these spaces, confusion is profit. Every year, homes get smarter, but the decisions they get harder. All these brands, banners, flashy terms, they promise clarity, but deliver chaos. One brand offers brilliance, another breaks after 6 months, and in between, fragile pixels, false guarantees, and ads on a screen you paid for. So, today, we slow it down. We take a walk through showroom floors and silent hallways across living rooms and repair centers. From forgotten fossils to the brands redefining what a screen can be. 12 names, 12 truths. From the TVs you should avoid like a virus to the handful quietly earning their place in your home. Some will surprise you, some you already knew, but by the end, you'll know exactly who's building for you and who's building for margins. Let's begin. Number 12. RCA, the ghost of glory. Back in the day, RCA meant something. Your grandfather had one. Walnut cabinet, round knobs, a picture that felt like a miracle. Today, it's not a miracle. It's a mistake. Their panels outdated, their color range faded. Move 2 steps to the side and the screen washes out like a storm-spilled photograph. In 2025, RCA isn't competing. It's surviving. Sold in bulk, slept in dorms and dusty guest rooms, often chosen out of fatigue, not faith, real experience, bought one on clearance. 3 months washed out reds. By month 7, a black line crept across the screen like a scar. You deserve better. Number 11, Insignia. The dollar store dream. It shows up in carts, under headlines, connected to Prime Day deals. It's Best Buy's hidden secret and also their dirty laundry. Fire OS built-in, sure, but panels that glow like old flashlight batteries. You scroll through apps and wait, scroll again and wait more. By the time your show plays, your popcorn's cold and worse, ads. Even here, after spending money, your screen becomes a billboard for sitcoms, insurance, groceries. It doesn't just cost less, it feels like less. Owner story. 3 Insignias across 5 years. Each one died. No refunds, just silence, a cracked screen, and a new regret. If you think you're saving money here, you're not. You're borrowing time on borrowed tech. Number 10, JVC, the silent signal. This used to be a brand that meant quality in cameras, not confusion in TVS. Today, JVC exists in the background. Some stores have it, some don't. Specs vary, panels shift, and in the US, consistency is a myth. You think you're buying a model your friend recommended? You're not. The internals are different, even the software. One user got a decent picture, another lag, freezing menus, and deer and headlights customer support. Truth is, JVC's TVs feel like whispers. Faint, forgettable, fading. And in 2025, we don't need whispers. We need clarity. Number 9, Philips, the doppelganger. In Europe, Philips is legacy. A trusted name with glowing Ambilight features that spill aura onto your wall. A mood, an experience. But in the US, different team, different factory, same label, different soul. Here, Philips is licensed to Funai, a company focused on price tags, not presence. Result, laggy menus, choppy playback, an interface stuck in the past. Real story, user thought they grabbed European engineering. First week, wow, nice lights. Month 3, streaming apps won't stop buffering. Month 6, it's on Craigslist $100 or best offer. That glow doesn't last. So far, 4 brands, 4 red flags, all selling you on names that meant something once but echo hollow in 2025. The truth is, a badge isn't a build. Now we shift from the brands built on nostalgia to the manufacturers chasing momentum with mixed results. Number 8, Toshiba, the once icon. The name still carries warmth, like hearing a song from high school. But nostalgia and durability are not the same thing. Owned by Hisense, Toshiba's modern TVs come with one major boost: Fire OS integration. It feels fast, looks sleek until the screen doesn't keep up, dead pixels, backlight bleed, and sounds so tiny it could double as a wind chime. Someone once said, "It's like putting a rocket engine on a cardboard box." One user bought in, then tried to return it. Customer support told them to reset the TV. Spoiler, resetting doesn't cure cracked pixels. Toshiba wants to be taken seriously, but intent isn't the same as execution. Number 7, Vizio, the fallen promise. There was a time Vizio led the budget revolution. Solid picture, smart prices, no fluff. Now it's stuck somewhere between potential and performance anxiety. Their panels still impress when they work, but the SmartCast system, glitchy, unintuitive, maddening. Apps freeze, menus lag, and updates sometimes remove features instead of fixing them. One owner upgraded to a Vizio OLED. First month, magic. By month 4, app crashes. 8 months in, they gave up. There's a sadness in watching innovators slip. Vizio hasn't lost the blueprint. It's just forgotten the build order. Number 6, Panasonic, the disappearing act. It wasn't supposed to go out like this. Once Panasonic ruled the living room, Plasma Kings, the envy of home theaters. The name sat proudly below screens that felt like windows to other worlds, but now in North America, it's mostly a rumor, a whisper in AV forums, a relic reborn only offshore. Still in Japan and parts of Europe, Panasonic thrives. They're building beautiful OLEDs, crisp motion handling, whisper soft audio enhancements that hum like a hush before a movie starts. And yet in the US, we barely get a glimpse. A trickle of models, no promotions, no presence. Someone imported a high-end OLED from overseas, drawn to the praise. The picture glorious, but no HBO Max, no US app updates, no native support. A screen's only as smart as the ecosystem behind it. And for Americans, Panasonic is behind the glass, not behind the scenes. If you're not overseas, you're paying premium dollars for a ghost with no passport. Number 5, JVC, the forgotten lens. Yes, again, because it's so often mistaken as safe, reliable, mid-tier, good enough. But good enough doesn't get you through a decade. Behind many JVC TV panels, there's more compromise than character. Inconsistent backlighting, flickering HDR, and software that feels like it missed 7 years of updates. 2 neighbors buy the same JVC model, same box, same shelf, but inside different processors, different panels. One glows clean, the other stutters through slow menus like dial-up internet in a smart world. It's not malicious, it's mismanaged. And for the price, maybe it'll work. Shouldn't be your warranty. Now, finally, we're crossing the halfway point. We leave behind the brands living off memories and the ones dodging expectations. Ahead, the fighters, the climbers, the sparks in the dark. Number 4, Hisense, the underdog rising. It used to sit quietly on the bottom shelf, ignored, underpriced, misunderstood. But times they change. Hisense learned fast, acquired faster. Toshiba sharp. They studied everyone, then started building TVs no one expected. Take their U8N series mini LED brilliance quantum dots with wide color. A flagship feel without flagship prices. Pop it on and your jaw slackens. Vibrance, depth, contrast like velvet. Of course, it's still a gamble. Hisense isn't perfect. Some sets have durability hiccups. View angles aren't always wide. A few owners mention bloom, crushed shadows, or bezel thinness that doesn't handle toddlers well. But most of those flaws, they don't ruin the story. They just prove it's still being written. One user bought a Hisense and a soundbar. Combined cost, still less than the name brand OLED their friend bought. Guess whose screen everyone complimented? For those with a smart eye and a budget heartbeat, Hisense is a punch that lands harder than its weight. Number 3, TCL, the unexpected hero. The one no one took seriously until they had to. Back in 2016, TCL felt like a filler brand. Cheap, mass-produced disposables with remotes. Then they shipped the 6 series. Suddenly, gamers noticed. Movie lovers started whispering. Tech reviewers got quiet, then began rewriting their rankings. This wasn't filler anymore. Mini-LED, Dolby Vision, a real smart TV platform, Roku or Google TV, not a clunky Frankenstein OS cobbled overnight. And most important, it felt good. It felt better. Someone gave their teenage son a TCL back-to-school gift. Expected shrugs. Got movie nights, console marathons, friends crashing on beanbags swearing they couldn't believe that's not an LG. Still, TCL isn't without faults. Quality control can be inconsistent. You might get a perfect panel. You might get one with pixel issues right out the box. Customer service can range from helpful to hold please forever. But when they get it right, TCL delivers 90% of a $2,000 experience at half the sticker shock. And in a world where screens break, apps change, and models shift every year, that kind of value carries weight. Now we enter the top tier, not just brands, but promises. Bold gold logos, marketing campaigns that flood airports and podcasts and subway stations. These are the names we've been told to trust. But should we? Let's start with what? Number 2, Samsung, the golden giant. Walk into any Best Buy and you can't miss it. Rows of supernovas, Neo QLEDs brighter than belief. Samsung knows how to build a showstopper. Sharp detail that dances. A 4K signal that looks 8K. A UI that moves faster than your thumb. Gaming on one smooth streaming crisp daylight, no problem, but there's a catch. Behind the polish come the ads. Bloatware. Your premium TV is also a billboard showing off channels you never clicked, trailers you didn't ask for, and that one reality show no one ever watched. One buyer got the QN90C stunned by the image, then spent 3 nights digging through menus trying to shut off Samsung channels. They never fully disappeared. Worse, updates sometimes shift settings or bug out features without warning. Yes, brilliance lives here, but so does control. Not from you, from them. Samsung builds some of the best hardware on earth, but sometimes it feels like the TV is watching you enjoy it too closely. Finally, we arrive at the screen that doesn't scream, that doesn't pitch, that doesn't push, it just performs. Number 1, LG, the whispering titan. No TV brand this year captures the stillness in a dark room like LG. Their OLED EVO panels are a masterclass in silence and shadow. Each pixel lights itself. No backlight, no bleed, which means perfect black, infinite contrast and color. Tones so rich they almost pulse. Actors' faces look real. Movie nights turn into reverence. Even commercials feel expensive. One user upgraded from a QLED to the LG C3. After 10 minutes, the old TV felt like a toy in comparison. Gaming heavenly input lag gone. Refresh rates silky. Smart interface. Web OS, quick, minimal, just works. Better still, LG doesn't shove things in your face. No forced ads, no pre-installed junk you didn't ask for. It respects you quietly. But heaven has rules. OLED burn-in, while rare, is real. Leave an icon too long, news ticker, game HUD, logo, you might see its ghost long after. Plus, while build quality has risen beautifully, an LG OLED isn't a rock. It's art. Handle with care, but love without limits. In 2025, the gold standard has a name, and that name whispers, not shouts, LG. At this point, we've walked through hardware and heartbreak, through legacy and lies, through illusions lit by millions of pixels. And now, maybe you're staring at the TV in your own living room, wondering if what you bought was brilliance or just branding. But before we fade out, Let's return to where this conversation really lives. Not in spec sheets or showroom lights, not in glossed over press releases, but here in the silent, imperfect moments of a real home where your toddler smacks the remote and the app crashes during the final scene, where you pause a movie and someone forgets to hit play again because the popcorn's burning, where your screen shows the reflection of your partner nodding off, your dog scratching his ear, and your life unfolding in the background. Because this isn't about pixels, it's about presence. It's about what deserves to live in the middle of your life. So, what should you avoid at all costs? That's easy. Avoid the brands that stop caring the moment you click checkout. Avoid the names that echo prestige but can't back it with performance. Avoid Insignia for the illusion of savings that becomes regret in 3 months. Avoid RCA unless your idea of modern entertainment is fixing black screens on Tuesday nights. Avoid the marketing hype that screams louder than the screen performs. But also avoid assumptions because sometimes the underdog brand is the one fighting hardest to impress. Sometimes a lesser-known model gifts you movie night of your life. Sometimes value shows up wrapped in silence, not packaging. You want a truth? Here it is. Most showrooms don't sell you the best TV. They sell you the best illusion, the biggest screen, the brightest shelf demo. But when you bring it home and the lights are dimmed and the episode starts and life flows around the picture, only then do you realize you didn't just buy a television. You bought a window. So make sure it shows you beauty, not buffering, not ads, not disappointment. To recap, avoid RCA and Insignia. They're not here for the long game. Philips and JVC half-formed, inconsistent, and geographically confusing. Toshiba and Vizio potential, if you're lucky, punishment if you're not. Panasonic US, incredible elsewhere, unavailable here. Hisense and TCL rising fast, sometimes shaky but real contenders. Sony, Samsung, and LG. The legacy giants polished to the last detail, but only one of them respects your choices when the screen turns on. And that brand still LG OLED Personal, quietly brilliant. They want one that's smart enough to work, long enough to last, warm enough to feel like something more than mass-reduced sound and light. And if you want that too, then before you go, tap that subscribe button. Because here, we don't just review, we expose ourselves. From the hype to the hidden failures to the tricks brands hope you'll never question. So hit like, tap subscribe, and join thousands of smart shoppers who already know. Smart spending starts with asking smarter questions. Until next time, look for less noise, more signals, and always choose presence over just pixels.